Hey techies, welcome to Elfin Code. If you are new to the channel, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Welcome back to Elfin Code. So today we are going to see how we can mount multiple volume to a container. Now, to mount multiple volume to a container, we cannot do directly. So we need to create a kind of symlink in your original, a system where for which directory you want to mount it to the container directory, and then the root will be mounted to the container directory. Okay. So this step involves to mount multiple volumes to a single Docker container directory would be first you create a root directory in your local host, and then you create a multiple symlink directory which will be linked to your root directory, and then you create a Docker container, mount the root directory to the container directory, and then create a Python file in the container directory and come and check whether that Python file is being created in all the symlink directory. Okay, so let us do a practical to understand this concept. Practically maybe. So I'm just going to the maybe I can use Ubuntu terminal. Okay. Before that, I've already done a little of practical over it. So let me do one thing. Let me go and clean all this symlink which I have already created so that I can do a fresh practical here. Okay. All my symlinks are deleted. So if I do ls, I don't have any further any symlink present. Okay. So okay, now here what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a root directory. Okay, so I'll do one thing, mkdir, and I'll say that I'll create a root dir. Okay, now once my root directory is created, I'll just take the path root directory pwd. Okay, so this is going to be my root directory path. Now I'm creating three symlink directory. Okay, so ln is the function which is used to create a symlink. Okay, we'll be creating a soft symlink, and my source would be this. Oops, ln hyphen s, and I'm just copying this path. This is my source, and this will be linked to symlink 1. Let's say this is the directory which we want to create. Okay, and this will get created under the root directory. Okay. Okay, let me create one more symlink directory, sim2 and sim3. Okay, so these are the three symlink directory I created. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, let me see if it is visible. Okay, now here you can see that it is visible. Okay, it is visible. Now these are the three symlink directory which is being created under the root directory folder. Okay, and here if you see symlink 1, symlink 2, symlink 3 is pointing to this particular root directory. Okay. Okay, now I'll do one thing. I'll go to the Docker. Let me see. Mm, okay. Okay, now I can see I have three different container already running. So let me do one thing. Let me create a new Python container, and I'll mount this root directory. Okay, this root directory, this one. Okay, this one to one of my Docker container directory. Okay, so I'll say Docker run hyphen um, yes, but anyways, I have already created a kind of documentation, so you can always check this documentation. Okay, I'll provide you the link in the video section also. So everything is already there, how you can create symlink directory and all. So for a Linux user, we are using ln. For those who are working on the window PowerShell, they can use this new item time and symbolic link kind of command. Okay, so likewise. Okay, so I can just copy paste this command. So here, if you see, what I'm doing is I'm creating a Python container. Okay, let me rename this container Python container. let me rename it to container 3. Okay, and I want to run this container in a detached mode. And if you see here, sleep infinity, so it is going to be in up state for all the time unless we go and stop it forcefully. Okay, so it will keep on running and it will be in a detached mode, so no interactive shell will appear. Okay, so I'm creating a container with a name my python container 3, and my mounted directory would be this one. So let me just copy this. Okay, and I'm just deleting whatever was there. Okay, so my mounting directory would be this one, root directory, and my container directory would be app. Okay, and this is my image, python image. Okay. So my directory is all my python container is already created with this mounting volume. Okay, let me see docker ps. So here you can see we have our container 3. Okay, which is up and running. Okay, 15-second before it was created, and the status is up. Okay, now let us do one thing. Let us go to the go to our container directory in a bash shell interactive mode. Okay, so we can use exec command to go to the to attach any bash shell to the existing container directory. So I'm using this is also provided in the documentation. So I'm going to use my container name, which is container 3. Okay, and bin bash, so it is going to open the bash shell so in interactive mode. Okay, so I'm attaching this bash shell. Okay, now my bash shell is already created, so I'm going to create a python file here. Okay, to create a python file I'll be installing a nano editor. Okay, so let me first update I'll be using apt command to install the nano editor, which I will be using it to create a python file. Okay, so my apt is updated, so now apt install nano. Okay, so it is going to install nano editor in my container. Okay, now it is done. So now I'm going to use nano python. Okay, let me just I need to go to the uh, app directory. Okay, because that is the one which is mounted to the physical directory in my local system. Okay, cd app, that is what we had done. If you see here, uh, yeah, so this is the container, and this directory is linking to you to my container app directory. Okay, so anything I will be creating on inside the app directory will also get reflected to the root directory, and root directory is further symlinked to 3 more directories. So all those directories should also be getting the same python file. Okay, so here I went to the app directory. Okay, now here I'm going to create one file, hello.py. So let me write some command. Let me import math and say print the power of 2 comma 3 is math dot power 2 comma 3. Okay, so now this is done. I'm going to write it out, which is control O, and then I'm going to say append. It is already written. Control X just to verify if it is properly created a python file. Let me execute this. Python hello.py. So here you can see the output also is visible. Okay, now we will be going to our mounted directory. Okay, to see whether this file is already being created or not. So I'm going to be here, and if you see here, the root directory is already created. Okay, If I open this root directory, I can see this hello program is already available in my root directory. Now I need to see whether my symlink is also having the same directory or not. Okay, so let me do one thing. I'm exiting from this container. Okay, so after exiting my container, I'll just do ls. So I have this hello.py already created. Okay, now I'll go to the symlink 1, 2, and 3 to verify whether I have the same file created here or not. Okay, so I'm going to do cd sim1. Okay, now if I do ls, uh, if I do ls, I can see hello.py already created. Okay, mm, hello.py is already created. Okay, same way. mm, if I go to cd cd sim link 2 unless you see hello.py is already created. Okay, now what I can do is so I mean if you want to see the content of this hello.py, it is going to be same what we have seen in the docker container directory. Okay, so here if you make some changes, let's say, let me check whether I have this mm, yeah, I have the vi editor. So I'm going to add some more comment here. So let's say print working fine. Okay, let's say wq. Now again I'll go to the docker container. Okay, cd app. Okay, ls. So I have this hello.py. So let me open it. So here if you see, the one which we had added in the symlink directory is also getting reflected here. Okay, so this is how you can create a symlink directory, and you can attach the root, and all the symlink directory will be attached to your container directory. Okay, so this is how you can attach multiple directory with your container directory. I hope you have understood this concept. But in case if you have any doubt, you can just put comment in the post. I'll try to reply on your query. Thank you for watching.
That is it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe Elfin Code for future updates.